So this emailer in, I wasn't annoyed. I was disappointed because I'm gonna give you the opening line of this email, and it's all you've got. I emailed and asked for more content because I was like, "Come on, man, you can't give me that and not give me any more." I didn't hear back. So he says, "Hey boys, have you ever had your ass eaten out by an old Chinese man? No, drugs are a hell of a thing, lads." That's it. There's more to his email, but that's all he like. Come on, that's such a tease. You know what I mean?
I think that was a cut scene in Kill Bill Volume 2, where Uma Thurman gets her ass eaten by Pai Mei in his long beard. But I can personally say I have never had my asshole eaten by anybody, let alone a Chinese man. That's a complete no-go area for me.
It's cordoned
I'm
off.
not a big fan.
Keep it away from the missus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. But like, I'm sure the listeners are assuming that I have done it and I haven't. I've never had an old man lick up my arsehole. I'm sorry. I've let people down. But yeah, so we're still waiting. That was like 2 weeks ago and he hasn't. I was like saying, but maybe that is because if he's on drugs and that, maybe he doesn't know how he got in that position. He's like,
yeah, he just woke up. Woke up, his legs are up, there's an Asian man down there, he's like, alright, this is what's happening.
It's like a startled deer in the headlights. He's like, I'm just going to stay still. I'm just going to, you know what I mean? It'll be done. It'll be done. But, so his question is, he goes, anyway, as you can tell, I'm open about my recovering addiction. And I'm in a relationship with a very happy-go-lucky drinker, maybe too much drinking for my liking. I think maybe it's too much sometimes, but at the same time, I always think the way of an addict. She is fully functioning. Do you think I'm prejudging because of my past? It doesn't seem to be affecting her life, but at the same time, I don't want it to. And I don't want to be that judgmental new boyfriend. I know you both are not sober, so I'd like a normal perspective. Thank you, gents. And then he says, please laugh about the beginning, which we have. So, Brian, you don't drink, do you, at all? You're not...
I am completely sober. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything. I just eat horrible foods for me. And, you know, that's my vice. So, a couple of things. The first piece of advice for him is, you're the man of the relationship. You have to dictate all the rules, and whatever you say, she must follow. And if she doesn't, you got to keep her in line. No. All right. No, leave that shit.
Yeah, no.
That's the joke answer. The real answer is, I think it's important that as like, you know, I couldn't be personally with, like, my wife has a drink very rarely, you know, where she's almost drinking at practically the same level as me. Like, until she got pregnant, she barely drank at all. Now that she's pregnant, glug, glug, glug. Beer, wine, alcohol, all the time. No. But until she got, like, sorry, fucked up. No, so, like, she really isn't a drinker at all, my wife. That's just not how she's wired. So it works because, you know, we respect that in each other. That's just, we're simpatico with that. So for this guy, it's an interesting position as an addict. I think you have to prioritize what's most important to you. Is it your sobriety? Is it the relationship? Is it anything like that? So I don't know, you're an addict, and you know how you are and how you were. So you'll know what's an acceptable level of drinking for a normal person or not, and you'll probably recognize signs in someone that they might not recognize in themselves. Exactly. But my advice is that think about how important the relationship is and your level of comfortability. And if you need to be with someone that's a complete teetotaler, I recommend that's what you should do, because I think that's the best thing for yourself.
I think he's always going to look at it from, like, once you've been through the program, that's, like, ingrained in you, right? And that's what you're always gonna going to come back to, and when you see it and stuff, even if she is, some people have no problem with alcohol and they'll drink. Like I said, she's functioning. You assume when people say like, "Oh, you're a functioning alcoholic," like I assume, "Oh, I finish work," and they're like doing shots and fucking, but they do a little bit throughout the day, right? You wouldn't even, unless you were with them outside of work, you wouldn't know they were drunk. I wouldn't anyway.
No. I think a lot comes down to as well, like when it comes down to her drinking itself, I think if he's sitting there and he's feeling uncomfortable around her in that situation, he should bring it up. He should say, I feel as though you're having too much drink. If your relationship's strong enough, she will be able to take that on board and be more wary. She don't have to stop drinking altogether, but she'll be more wary that you're aware of it. And there's an addict in the house when you're getting out of your box.
Yeah, like she shouldn't be, chugging Bacardi when like he's in the next room, Like, yeah, like I'm not an addict, but I can't imagine even going to a party where, everyone is indulging and having fun and you're not allowed to partake in that at all. It's got to be fucking miserable. Like, I wouldn't go at all.
Yeah,
That's just me.
100%. Yeah. Even if I go to the pub and I'm driving and all the lads are drinking, I last about an hour and then I'm off. Because I'm like, I'm not hanging about.
See, it's a point because like in England, you can have one drink and you're still allowed to drive.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, they don't want you to, but you're allowed the one. In Scotland, you're not allowed any. Like, if I had a sip and got pulled over and had anything, they'd be fucking raging at me, you know what I mean? So it's harder for me as well, going out for, like, meals and things. You just want a beer or something like that with your meal. Nah, you can't fucking touch it.
So, Scotland, there's zero tolerance for any of it.
They even charge them more for alcohol up there. They even get more tax on their alcohol.
Wow.
Because the alcoholism is so high in Scotland that, which you can see when you're up there.
Does Scotland suck?
No,
it's amazing.
Compared to where I live, Scotland's lovely.
The main drink up here is Buckfast, like Bucky, and which makes you laugh because they're like, "Oh, we put all this tax and stuff like that." But Bucky is the cheapest and quickest way to get drunk in anywhere in the UK because it's not even from Scotland. And they don't ban it or anything like that. So the crackheads are still buying Bucky for like £10, getting cronked, and there's glass bottles rolling around. It just makes me laugh.
What type of alcohol is Bucky? Is it like a moonshine or
some weird shit? It
tastes like cheap red wine.
Yeah, it's halfway between martini and wine. It's the weirdest. Dan gave me a glass of it when he first moved up there, and it was the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth.
I
don't mind it,
and that's saying so.
I've never heard of this, but guys, it's time for us to make billions. We gotta bring Bucky to America, and we gotta go into every 7-Eleven, bodega, every bad neighborhood in the country, and sell Bucky.
We'll be like the CIA
it's a tonic
in the
wine.
90s with the crack pandemic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a tonic wine.
That's
what it's classed as.
Fucking disgraceful. That's what it is.
A caffeinated alcoholic drink consisting of pure caffeine added to fortified wine. Made in Devon. That's what I mean. It's not even from Scotland. I remember I said in the...
Where's Devon?
Devon's like the lowest point of England.
South. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like the opposite end. But yeah, I remember saying
Devon's
in the podcast
posh.
before... It is posh, yeah. That's probably the way to send it up to Scotland. They so there's a number on the bottle which tells you how sweet and obviously the it is. And I remember a crackhead coming in when I worked at a local store that I worked in, and I remember being on my hands and knees with this crackhead finding the bottles because I just moved up to Scotland, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you got to find this number because it means it's like really sweet." And I was like, "I'll give you a hand." I'm looking for these numbers. He bought it. He didn't steal it or anything like that, so I was happy to help him. But yeah, so they've got their own little things as well to know which is the best bottle. But where's a will, there's a way. You know what I mean?
Wow. Oh yeah, Bucky. I learned something.
Yeah,
Bucky. If you ever hear Bucky, that's what they're referring to. But yeah, I think with a new relationship and stuff like that, like Brian was saying, if you can't be around it or you feel like uncomfortable or anything like that, if it's a new relationship, the best thing to probably do is just to be like, talk to her about it. And if it's not working out, take yourself aside. You don't want to relapse after doing all that hard work.
No.
We don't know how long you've been recovered for. And, it's a hard road to get off it. But you don't want to just slip and end up back that because you want to stay with a girl that, is quite happily functioning in the way she is.
You don't want to wake up in 6 months' time with another Chinese man between your legs, do you?
Or maybe he does. Maybe that's what led him to get sober. That was rock bottom.
Going old Chinatown on a Friday night. I hope he got some free chow mein or got some prawn crackers to take home with him after that. But yeah, hopefully that helped. And let us know, or was it, keep in touch. If you have the rest of that first section, I want to know the story, and so does everyone else. Now they've heard it. We want to find out.
Brian as well, so he